Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's show is called Banking Collapse Cancer is Spreading. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. Also, we ask that you put a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word about our show. Now, let's get started. The banking collapse cancer is spreading. Don't listen to anything they tell you on the shows, the cable financial shows. Most of that, they're just lies predicated on lies, built on more lies. We now hear that people have moved $15 billion out of small and regional banks and into what they believe will be larger and safer super banks like Bank of America. We're also seeing that Switzerland's Credit Suisse bank stock price is at record lows. We're hearing a lot of bad rumors about Credit Suisse, and I hope none of them are true, but it doesn't look good. The reason I say that about Credit Suisse is a large investor that they were hoping would bail them out has backed out and decided not to do so, and that is never good. If you look at all the bank stock prices that are falling now, that in and of itself is very disturbing, given the gravity with which their stocks are descending. I'll tell you something even more disturbing, and that is all the commentators and experts who are now coming out in droves, in unison, and claiming that the banks that failed were very unique situations and that the other banks are still solvent and are much stronger. Well, it's almost like they were all paid to come out in unison and convey just that message. Wouldn't that be an interesting coincidence? Wonder why that was done. If they're much stronger, then why are so many bank stocks continuing to drop in price and doing it so violently? Is that because Wall Street and the stock market trust them so very much? Is that because the management teams of these banks is so brilliant, such geniuses, so uncorrupt? Why haven't the regulators who allowed all of this to happen, why aren't they being fired or replaced? Why aren't the major news organizations reporting that the FDIC has depleted all of its money trying to save the first couple of banks? What happens when a few more banks need bailouts? Why isn't anyone talking about all the customers who have left the smaller banks in the past week and gone to the big banks like Bank of America? Why is everybody downplaying that or refusing to cover it? How many small and mid-sized banks will close soon because customers have taken their money to one of the super banks? And then the question that everyone is asking but no one has an answer for is, what happens to the money in your bank when your bank closes and the government runs out of money to bail you and your bank out? Well, the truth is that once they close the door and deplete the FDIC funds, then Congress and the White House have to step in and help somehow. The question is, how much are they willing to help? And here's what nobody wants to talk about. There are mathematical limitations on how much they can help no matter what. There's only so much money out there. If there's a major crash wiping everything out, then there just won't be enough money in the system to help most people. Most people will walk away with nothing. The vast majority of these poor people, because it won't be the wealthy, it'll be the poor, will be financially crippled in an existential way. The stocks you have in the market will lose most of their value. The retirement accounts you thought you had will disappear. Your home's price will keep dropping. Cities will need to keep raising their taxes because so many homeowners will stop paying their taxes when they lose their jobs or the money they had in the banks. So what can you do if this happens? The only thing you can do is to prepare ahead of time. We don't give financial advice, but here's what we see a lot of high value, high net worth individuals doing already. First, they're moving their money into multiple large super banks to diversify their holdings and hopefully diminish their risks. Next, they're selling off their stock holdings. None of them want to ride the market down and see their stocks going to zero while they still own them. They don't care if they sell them off to somebody else and then the stock goes to zero and slams the next guy. They just don't want to take the hit. So they're getting out as fast as they can. Very few people trust Bitcoin anymore. Those that still have it are keeping it at less than 1% of their portfolio. Many believe that if you don't own something that you can physically take possession of or touch or hang on to, then you don't really own it. The market and the financial entities out there can always hit a button on their keyboard and make your paper-based financial instruments disappear. They believe that paper assets are very soon going to be worth less than the paper they are written on. Let me tell you about another growing problem. It's all the layoffs going on around the country. Facebook is now announcing a new round of layoffs, which will let another 10,000 people go. And almost nobody believes that will be the end of it. They believe that Mark Zuckerberg's insistence on pouring untold millions into Meta, the metaverse, in a belief that the public will start buying and adopting it, they just think that's misguided. Reports are that Mark has already poured $36 billion into the metaverse and plans to spend more. Really? I think he started Facebook with a microscopic fraction of that amount of money, and look how successful it's been. Sometimes, if the market or the public aren't interested in a product or a service, then it doesn't matter how much money you pour into it. It just won't fly. Hopefully, the metaverse will eventually turn into a giant success, but people don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Behind closed doors, a lot of experts don't believe that this banking cancer is going to go away. They believe that the problem is still growing and will make itself even more visible very, very soon. And when that happens, things will get very ugly, beyond ugly. They'll get existential for a lot of people. Those homeless people that were walking up and down the streets for the few, for the people who, were using drugs or lost their jobs or their families turned back on them. Well, you know who's going to be joining a lot of those homeless people? A lot of people in the middle class who made the mistake of believing Wall Street. Do as much preparation as you can and plan on getting very little help, if any, from the government when things collapse. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell as soon as we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.